Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere. And this is your brother Bawan back again with another video. Where I'm at is I'm on Reddit, right? And you can see the name of the app right there. But I'm on Reddit, and this is a subreddit, which is like a hashtag on Reddit r/Christianity. And basically, this is the only social media app I really use like that. So I wanted to go on this Christian subreddit, right? The Christ to see the Christian community of Reddit and ask, just to show them a little bit, try to ask them some questions and see how they would respond. Okay, like for example, I wanted to go in on the Pope a little bit and see what these Christians would say, but when I went into the r/Christianity and saw what they were talking about, you realize that there are a lot of Catholics in here and they support the Pope and his wicked agendas, okay, and the wickedness that he's pushing, which is basically, accepting all religions, accepting all, lifestyles, so on and so forth, even the all the things that are against the scriptures, okay. So basically, I was just scrolling on down, seeing what they were talking about, and you go into this when you see all kinds of bugoutness, all kinds of madness, and all kinds of things, that these Christians get into. But this is the one that really stuck out to me, and I said that, I've been battling with this for days now. I said I would do a video about this. I did a video about it, and I was like, no, I can't do a video about this. I did it, and I went to camp and I addressed this just a little bit, and then I left it at that. But I have to do a video about this when the spirit isn't letting this come leave my mind, and my spirit is not going to be at rest until I do a video concerning this. I can clearly see from the title right there, the one that is the boldest, and it says, how did Sodom become associated with homosexuality? And when you see that title, the first thing you think is, what kind of ridiculous question is that? Because the scriptures clearly tell you that the reason why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, and let's go and get that. The reason why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed was for the sin of homosexuality, which, of course, in case you didn't know, okay, if you are a Mo, if you are into the alphabet lifestyle, the the alternative lifestyle, the entire alphabet lifestyle, okay, every single letter is wickedness against the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai. So let's get this. I've forgotten where the exact precept is, but I think it should be Hebrews. Okay, that's Second Peter slash, yeah. So this is the book of Second Peter 2, verse 6, and it reads, and turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an ensample unto those that after should live ungodly, and delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. And it clearly tells you right there that Sodom and Gomorrah, and the reason why it was destroyed was because of its homosexuality, okay? Because you know why, all right, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua wanted that place gone, and it was left there as a monument, as an eternal monument for, the wages, okay, or the reward of wickedness, especially in the form of, once again, the alphabet lifestyle. But of course, in regular wacky-tacky Christian fashion. This is something that, you'll find out because you'll see a bunch of these wacky-tacky Christians, vocab and them talk about how they are against, the alphabet lifestyle, and they are against, what the modern day progressive Christianity is pushing, until you realize that a lot of these Christians, they are following in the same manner, okay? They believe the same things all these other progressive Christians do, which is, the introduction or the acceptance of, the alphabet people into the church, and basically the whole come as you are doctrine, and, you know, completely forgetting about what, and completely, completely basically throwing away the law, discarding the law, okay, and saying that they are all saved by the grace of their boy JC, right? Their cracker savior, without, any effort from them, no repentance, just come as you are, and you are basically saved by JC, okay. But anyway, let's go back into this topic right here. And it says, So continue reading on down. So it's pretty clear that the grave sin of Sodom and Gomorrah was being just impossibly unkind and inhospitable. And yet, even today, Sodom is used to refer to gay relations. How did this come about? So basically, their argument is that, well, the sin of Sodom wasn't actually homosexuality, but it was actually inhospitability, being unkind to Lot and to the angels when they came into the city of Sodom and Gomorrah. So I'll get that precept in, that should be in the book of Genesis. I forget exactly where in the book of Genesis. So what I'll just do is I'll just type in Sodom, okay, and we'll go to where it talks about, Lot. That should be Genesis 19, yeah. So this is the book of Genesis 19, verse 1. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. And he said, Behold, now my Lord, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but you will abide in the street all night. So basically, Lot was at the gates. Lot sat at the gates of Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, and the elders and the apostles give the revelation that what Saul was actually, like what Lot was actually doing at the gates was that he was prophesying. He was prophesying and he was preaching and condemning the wicked acts of Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, and while he was there, basically after he finished, his work on the highways and byways, while he was there, he saw these two angels approach, and he could perceive through the spirit that, these are not just ordinary men, which is why he called out to them, and he wanted to, basically, and what I'm looking for, board them or something like that for the night. Okay. But continuing on Genesis 19, verse 3. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast, and did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter. And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came into thee this night? Bring them unto us, that we may know them. Okay, and basically, what this is telling you, that all the people of Sodom and Gomorrah, all the men of Sodom and Gomorrah, old and young, they all came together. They came out against, to Lot. Basically, they came out to the angels, and they wanted to know the angels. Okay, and I say that in quotes, but let's see what it means to know. Okay, according to the scriptures, let's see what it means to know. And the word there is, hold on, Sakia. Let me try that again. I pressed the wrong button, but let's see what it means to know. Okay, and the word is yada, yadai, 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 and it means to know, to learn, to know, to perceive and see, find out and discern, to discriminate, distinguish, to know by experience, to recognize, admit, acknowledge, confess, to consider, to know, be acquainted with, to know a person carnally, to know, be skillful in, to have knowledge, be wise, to be made known, be or become known and be revealed, to make oneself known, and it's basically going into know, and to know. Okay, the word Yadai. Let's hold on. Let me see. Okay, so basically they didn't give the proper what I'm looking for. They didn't give the proper terminology for the word, or the place, like, or the reason why, or what it was used for in this case. Okay, because the people of Sodom one's going to look, one going to go and ask the angels 20 questions about their life, okay, just to know about, or one, they didn't want to know more about who they were as people. All right, they were trying to, have sexual relations with them. That's homosexual, like it has already been established. Okay, standard. Something that is what I'm looking for, concrete. That this was what was happening in Sodom and Gomorrah. Unlawful sexual acts, fornications of all kinds, and all kinds of other abominations and wickedness going on, because it wasn't just the homosexuality. Okay, so many other things were happening. They were, the inhabitants of Sodom and Gomorrah were Canaanites, so they were worshiping idol gods, okay, and sacrificing to those idol gods and defiling the land, which is why the Most High sent that fire on their ass, okay. but the prominent sin of Sodom is this homosexuality, and even calling the angels of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh and trying to, basically rape them. Okay, grape. Let me just use the term grape. Don't want this video to be taken down. So that's the point right there. Actually, that's basically all we want to get. And after this comes the deliverance of Lot from Sodom and Gomorrah and the destruction. But we got the main point, which is what the men of Sodom wanted to do to those angels. Okay, it wasn't that they wanted to ask them 20 questions about their lives and know more about them as individuals or as angels. They wanted to drag them out and you know have great and grip them basically, okay, which is against the scriptures. So now let's go back to once again this post, and it reads, Jude 1 verse 7 says, and let's go to that, because I also want to get this. But you see, the thing is that whenever you bring out the scriptures on these Christians and show them the truth, okay, they start to run and hide and start to say that's not what that means. They start to butcher the precepts, and they just basically have their cognitive dissonance. They refuse to accept what the scriptures truly say. And this is what you see happening on the comment boards of that post, where you have these Christians out there that just want these, you know, alphabet individuals to be Christians so bad, okay? Just want them to be accepted by God, that they are God so bad that they would use the scriptures and twist what is written in the scriptures in order to accept, in order to bring them into their, into their beliefs, okay? But this is the book of Jude 1 verse 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Likewise, also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignities. Once again, it is showing you the sin of Sodom and Gomorrah, fornication and going after strange flesh. Okay, and that should be clear what that strange flesh is. It is, once again, the alphabet lifestyle. No need to hang my hand there and do suspense or anything like that. But let's continue. Let's continue on. Okay, and the next comment is this: Ezekiel 16 verse 49. Behold, this was okay. Let me go start. Let me go start. Okay. Let me not read this from the post, but actually read from the scriptures. Before people start saying that's not what that means, that's not what's written right there. But this is the book of us. You know what? Let me now that I think about it, let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Okay, Genesis 19. Where is it that word? No. Just to be certain. So okay, hold on. Let me go back to that. In Genesis 19, where it talks about in Genesis 19, where it talks about um what the men of Sodom wanted to do with the angels. Let's go and find some more translations. And this is the NLT, and it reads, They shouted to Lot, Where are the men who came to spend the night with you? Bring them out to us so we can have sex with them. This is the ASV, okay, another ASV, another translation. And they called unto Lot and said unto him, Where are the men that came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us that we may know them. And this is the, just like I'm trying to figure out some of these translations. I don't really know the full name of them, but okay. This is the HNV, okay, HNV, and it reads, They called to Lot and said to him, Where are the men who came in to you this night? Bring them out to us that we may have sex with them. And this is the NIV. They called to Lot, Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so that we can have sex with them. And so on and so forth. And you see that when they see that when the men of Sodom came to Lot's house to inquire about the angels, they weren't there to ask questions, okay? They wanted to know about their life story and all the things that they have gone through in their life, but rather they were there to have sexual relations with them, unlawful sexual relations in the form of homosexuality. So now going back to this Ezekiel 16 verse 49, I will go to that precept because this is what these Christians claim is a precept that proves that the sin of Sodom was not in fact homosexuality, but rather Ezekiel 16 verse 49. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom. Pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her and in her daughters. Neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. And then stop right there. And basically, this is how Akitake Christianity works. They take one scripture, they take one verse, one passage, one line in a verse and run with it. But they don't have the whole context, okay? And these Christians will accuse the Hebrew Israelites of not reading the scriptures with context, but they are the ones that are the most guilty of that. And you see what this individual right here did. This is a teachable moment for our people to show you how these Christians work. When they read precepts, they'll only get the part that fits their narrative, but they won't go through the whole length of the book. Because if you just go one verse down, Ezekiel 16, verse 50, and they were haughty and committed abomination before me. Therefore, I took them away as I saw good. The main point here being the abomination. And what is the abomination that Sodom and Gomorrah committed against Yahweh Bashan Yahushai? That should be. Let me just type it in the scriptures. I can't remember the exact precepts. So this is the book of Leviticus. This is the book of Leviticus 18, verse 22, and it reads, "Thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind. It is abomination." When he talks about lie right here, what's he talking about? Is he talking about you just lie down in your bed with a woman? If you sleep on the same bed with a man, or if you lie down in the same place with a man, that is abomination. Let's get that. Let's get that. And the word is shakab. Shakab, and it reads to lie down, lie on, to lodge, to lie of sexual relations, to lie down in death, to rest, relax, to be lain with sexually, to be lain with sexually, to make lie down, to be laid. And basically, that's the word that you should be looking for. You shall not lay down, okay? Because they have this term in the world, you got laid. And this is where it comes from. You got laid. In other words, you had sexual relations, okay? But now let's do translation comparison just to confirm what it means. So this is the NLT and it reads, "Do not practice homosexuality, having sex with another man as with a woman. It is a detestable sin." Okay, let's get some more. RSB. And this is the NIV. "Do not have sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman. That is detestable." CSB, "You are not to sleep with a man as with a woman. It is detestable." And the point being Leviticus 18 verse 22, that homosexual relations, okay, a man with a man, a woman with a woman, working that which is unseemly, and a man with an animal as well, okay, because you have that being pushed by Esau Edom as well. All these are abominations to the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So if what is the sin of Sodom? At the end of the day, it is still homosexuality, okay? The point still stands. But you tell that to these Christians and they will refuse to accept it, And if you read on down, you have all kinds of justifications trying to excuse the alphabets, the homosexuality basically, in order to bail them out. But it is what it is, okay? Or we've already got all the information that we really need to bring out from there, okay? To get we bring put out the point, we've gotten the point, you know. There is no, there is no excuse, there is no preset you can bring out to try to justify, homosexual acts as something that is allowed by the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahweh, because it is not. And Leviticus 18 verse 22 clears that up easy, okay? Now let's go to the book of Romans for precepts about that in the New Testament as well, because you see a lot of these Christians, they like to ignore the precepts that are in the Old Testament whenever they feel like it, whenever it gets to condemning, especially when it comes to the matters of the law, okay? When it comes to the weightier matters of the scriptures, I've forgotten So this is the book of Matthew 23, verse 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees and hypocrites. Woe unto you, you Christians, okay? Ye pay tithes of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. And the way, and of course, the law, okay? So yeah, the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. I've forgotten how to. I forgot the precept. I have to go and bring it out again and how to remember it. But basically, these Christians they ignore the weightier matters of the law. Okay, first and foremost, judgments. What is the judgment for this wickedness, and what is the judgment for committing abominations against the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai? You are to be put to death. That's like I was saying that, super was stressing on that, but right now the neighbors are making noise, so I just have to try to drown out their own noise by making my own noise. But the point is the the judgment for homosexuality is death. Okay, you are being put to death. But anyway, let's continue reading on because if I continue talking right now, I don't know what Esau is going to do, but I want to get the main points. Okay. So this is the book of Romans 1 verse 24. Wherefore the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, who changed the truth of the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahushai into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. For this cause, the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahshai gave them up unto vile afflictions, for even their women did change the natural use into that which is against nature. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burnt in their lust one toward another, men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error which is meat. And what do you think this vile lust, okay, this unseemly work that men are working with men and women are working with women is? You can, and this is what these Christians will do. They want to play dumb. They want to try and twist up the words. They want to try and make it seem as though the scriptures don't mean what they say, or the Most High, or they're trying to bring in confusion to the breakdowns. Okay, that's like how a little while ago, a few months ago, I had to tackle with this niggard that wanted to come out and say that the scriptures don't actually say be submissive because it was never written in the original text, when in all actuality it was right there, slap dab in the text, that the word for submit in the Greek was right there. But because Christians, they only they have selective reading, right? You've heard of selective hearing, or Christians have selective reading. They pick and choose what parts of the scriptures they want to believe in, which shows you that they're not about the truth. The Most High is not dealing with them, of course. So that's the video right there. This is obviously a video that didn't even need to be done, but we just have to go into it because these Christians, when they have to basically break down every stronghold. Let's get that precept. No matter how small, okay? Every stronghold of deceit or confusion, no matter how small, you have to break them down, casting down imaginations and bringing every stronghold to the casting down imaginations and bringing every stronghold to the. I forgot what that term is. Yeah, it is. This is what I was thinking about. So yeah, but it's the book of Second Corinthians 2 verse 4. 2 Corinthians 2 verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High Jehovah Basham Yahushai to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. Alright, so you have to, no matter how small the bugout doctrine is, no matter how, you know, no matter how small the bug out doctrine is, we still have to address it and bring it to the obedience of Yahweh Shai by completely, breaking it, by completely breaking down the strongholds and showing through the scriptures that they are false. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Rachakodash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit I hope you Akim and you are edified. Shalom.